Unfortunately, people are self-diagnosing these mental illnesses without seeing a medical professional. Self-diagnosing mental illnesses can affect everyone. It undermines the doctors who diagnose them, and it also undermines the illness itself. But through education and better resources for diagnosis, we can eliminate self-diagnosis altogether. Me, as well as my group mates, have had mental illness affect us in our everyday lives. Due to society's uneducated views on mental illness, self-diagnosis has become much more prevalent. I will discuss the problem of self-diagnosis, especially with depression and anxiety disorders. Then Sarah will discuss mental illnesses and the cause behind self-diagnosis. Finally, Casey will conclude with the solution stopping self-diagnosing mental illnesses. To begin with, let's start with the problem. You may be surprised as to how much social media affects the stigma around mental illness. As you may have noticed on various social media platforms, there seems to be more people who have been diagnosed with depression and anxiety. According to a study done by Pew Research in 2013, 1 in 3 American adults have gone online to figure out a medical condition. But due to the increased popularity of having a mental illness, people tend to mock or joke about having a mental illness. Major depressive disorder is the leading cause of disability in the United States for ages 15 to 44. This means that many people are afraid to admit that they have a serious mental illness for fear of ridicule. More than 15 million American adults have major depressive disorder. This also means that through self-diagnosing, many people have underlying issues that aren't being resolved. Depression and anxiety often are diagnosed hand in hand, as well as many other mental illnesses. Because of self-diagnosis, many people feel frustrated because it seems as if people aren't seeing their mental illnesses as serious as they are. According to Srini Pillai with Psychology Today 2010, there are many dangers behind self-diagnosing. One huge danger of self-diagnosing a psychological syndrome is mistaking the issue as a mental health issue when it could be simply a physical issue within your body. An example would be mistaking the diagnosis of hyperthyroidism or an irregular heartbeat with a panic disorder. Another example, although extreme, is mistaking changes in personality, psychosis, and even depression when a brain tumor could be the cause of it. Another danger of self-diagnosis is when you self-diagnose yourself, you undermine the role of the doctor. Many can tend to agree that this isn't the best way to start off a relationship with your doctor. You should also be able to trust your doctor and the diagnosis they give you. If you don't trust them, maybe you should consider switching to a different provider.
Thank you, Caitlin. As you can see, self-diagnosis is a big deal in our society. And now I'll discuss why it's so prevalent. With the availability of the internet and the lack of doctor's appointments, self-diagnosis of mental illnesses has become way too common. Self-diagnosis simply happens because people are uneducated of what mental illnesses actually consist of. According to the Mental Health Association in Forth County, there are more than 200 classified forms of mental illness. Some of the more common are clinical depression, bipolar disorder, dementia, and anxiety disorders. I'll first discuss depression and anxiety to explain further what these actually consist of. Depression is a mood disorder. It is a persistent feeling of sadness and loss of interest. This causes those with it to have trouble performing day-to-day activities and feels as if their life isn't worth living. Anxiety disorders are a group of mental disorders characterized by feelings of anxiety and fear. Anxiety is a worry about the future, and fear is a reaction to current events. This can also cause physical symptoms such as increased heart rate and shakiness. Next, I will discuss bipolar disorder and dementia to further explain these two. According to Goldberg, bipolar disorder, also known as manic depression, is a mental illness that brings severe high and low moods and change in sleep, energy, thinking, and behavior. Those with bipolar disorder experience episodes where they are overly happy and energized to episodes where they feel extremely sad and sluggish. But in between these episodes, they will often experience long periods of normal behavior. Dementia is actually not a specific disease, but it's an overall term to describe a range of symptoms associated with decline in memory or other thinking skills severe enough to reduce a person's ability to perform everyday activities. Alzheimer's disease and vascular dementia are two common types of dementia. As you can see, there are many different types of mental illnesses, and people often do not understand them, yet still self-diagnose them. Social media has made it easy for people to interact with others online, where there often ends up being miscommunication. There also are many medical websites on the internet that explain mental illnesses, but people don't realize that diagnosing is a lot more than just reading an article. Along with using the internet as a source, many people don't go to regular checkups anymore. This leads to people never talking to a professional about what is actually going on and often getting diagnosed incorrectly. This also leads to being prescribed to the wrong things, which either can hurt in not being diagnosed with the right thing or trying to fix something that isn't even there.
Thank you, Sarah. Mental illness is a serious topic, and in order to prevent self-diagnosis and the overuse of the term mental illness, there are some solutions I will talk about. Receiving an education and getting a diagnosis from a doctor are key aspects of mental illness, and if one feels that they are suffering with a mental illness, they should seek help from a medical professional right away. First, I will discuss why society should be educated about mental health. It is important to be educated to see how it affects us as a society and how serious it actually is. One should understand that mental illnesses are real and not something that someone chooses or makes up. According to Abder Holden, an executive director for the NAMI, the National Alliance for Mental Illness for Minnesota, in 2010, it was stated that the chances of you knowing someone with a mental illness is better or greater than you not knowing someone. And it also is stated that it is common among college students, so this really pertains to us, but it does pertain to everyone else. According to NAMI again, 1 in every 4 college students have a diagnosable mental illness. You should also know that there are dangers in self-diagnosis that can happen. An article written by dualdiagnosis.org, when researching online, it is most often the most serious of mental disorders that pop up on the top of the page. This leads people to start making irrational decisions and panic when they are trying to figure out what is wrong with them, with little to no accurate information. People who then self-diagnose will try to fix themselves, which can prove to be more harmful to their health. Another solution to self-diagnosing is just going to see a doctor. This is the best way to get an accurate diagnosis. There is no way to deny that mental illness is a lifelong struggle, but if you get help from a doctor, they are there to help. A doctor can right away either disprove mental illness or diagnose and give you the right treatment plan for yourself through a series of medical tests. Although mental illness is becoming more widely talked about, as stated earlier in the speech, there is a certain stigma about going to see a doctor. There is nothing to be afraid of. There are also many resources that a doctor can provide to help those that are struggling with mental illness. Doctors are able to point you in the right direction by knowing what you are comfortable and not comfortable with. They do not need to cause you more stress than you already have. According to Pillay in 2010, it is important for a person to get the right kind of help in order to avoid relapsing before it can be too late. Self-diagnosis can cause so many adverse effects instead of helping you. Mental illness is used too often to describe people's emotions or actions in belittling context. Today we talked about 3 main topics: the problem, the solution, or the cause and the solution to self-diagnosing mental illness. The problem being that there is an increasing popularity in having mental illness, and taken away from the seriousness, and there's too much availability at the touch of your fingertips. Finally, we discussed the solutions, which are being educated about mental health and the dangers, and that you should seek help. So next time you decide to say, I'm feeling depressed, or you are telling someone that they're being bipolar, think about what you're really saying.